Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Chicago Bears. How is everybody today? It's Victory Monday. Woo! So I didn't really write a good song because I'm exhausted still from the game yesterday, but bear down, Chicago Bears. You got a win in Vegas yesterday. Bear down, Chicago Bears. We're gonna beat Green Bay this Sunday. Don't let them tell you we're not gonna beat them, 'cause we will crush Rodgers. So bear down, Chicago Bears. You're the pride and joy of all of us. And that's it, that's all I got. So bear down, Chicago Bears. That's when a host does not prepare for the show. I mean, I did. I have my notes and stuff, but the song, I completely forgot about it until I sat down here and went, oh, I'm supposed to write a song. So that was about all I got for you. Because I got to tell you what, I left it all at the stadium yesterday. Was that game not the greatest? It really was fun. And being there in the stands was so cool. It was so much fun. I'm shocked that I even have a voice today, to be quite honest with you, because of all the screaming and yelling I was doing. It is really quite remarkable. So, so let's get, excuse my cough, my allergies, and that's a whole nother story we're not going to get into right now, but your announcer here has found out recently she is allergic to everything that grows outside in Vegas and all kinds of food. Yep. So I got to go to a specials in a couple days because I have not been well, and that's why I cough and this and that. So it's like, oh my God. I tell you. It sucks getting old. So let's move on. Let me talk about a little stats from yesterday. I mean, this win was glorious for so many reasons. First of all, the Bears are 3-2 right now, as the Raiders are 3-2. Oh well, but we don't really care about the Raiders because they're not in our division, so we don't care. And the score was 20-9, which was awesome. And why it ended up 9, it wasn't all field goals. If you saw the game, they scored one field goal and one touchdown, and then they went for the 2-point conversion. Didn't happen, so hence the 9 points. Rock on. Okay, so the Bears, again, they're not putting a lot of offensive yards up on the board, but I don't care as long as they're winning. So they had a total of 252 total yards of offense. Fields was 13 for 21 for 109 yards. Still, he's not breaking any records yet, but who cares? He got his first passing touchdown. Rock on, Fields. It was great. We were going crazy in the stands when he got it. He's already got a rushing one, so congratulations, Justin. It's really awesome. I'm really happy for you. And then our rushing game just keeps on going. I mean, that is so important to have a rushing game. We had 143 yards yesterday. Williams, number 8, who was the starting running back due to Montgomery being on IR, he got 64 yards. And my personal favorite, the rookie, Herbert, number 24, got 75 yards. I'd really like to see him in there more. He reminds me of Walter a little bit, and Montgomery, and he's tough, so I'd like to see that young man. But the running game, huge. You know, these two next categories I'm going to talk about are always very important. Time of possession. The Bears were on the field offensively over 32 minutes, and they beat the Raiders. The Raiders' possession of time was 27 minutes, so it wasn't a huge difference, but it was enough to give keep them off the field and give your defense a chance to rest. Now, the next one I'm not happy about, even though we won. Again, 8 penalties for 70 yards. Again, terrible. I mean, the penalties didn't hurt us as much as it hurt them. We're going to go into that in a minute, but come on, guys. What the hell? We got to keep these down. I told you, 5 or less, man, and that's on Nagy and the discipline of the team. But it's hard to criticize them because they just had a great game. So let's just go over a few of the Raiders. The Raiders had 259 total yards. Not much more than we, right? What is that? 7? No, yeah, 8. Whatever. And then passing, he was 22 of 35 for 188 yards, but he also Derek Carr threw an interception. That's right, he did, baby. And rushing, we held him only to 71 yards, which was great because I was worried with my favorite, my honey, Hicks not being in the game. But Eddie Goldman was back, so that really helped, and I think he played the majority of the game this week, so that was great. As I said, their time of possession was 27 minutes, so it helped us. But this is where they were really hurt, is they had 10 penalties for 82 yards, and 2 of the penalties were very, very well. There was quite a few of them that were costly, but 2, when the Bears were on the 5-yard line about ready to score, and they held them on 3rd down, got a penalty, first down, and then they got another penalty, and it just got us closer. Boom, we scored the touchdown. So that really hurt. And they had several roughing the passer penalties. They were really going after Justin, and I got to tell you, he is one tough hombre. Justin, what I liked about this though is he was using all his weapons yesterday. So the running backs were good, and then he threw to 6 different guys between the wide receivers, the tight ends, and the running backs. He used them all. 6 different. That's great for the 109 yards. I kind of like seeing the tight ends catching in there again yesterday because the last 2 games, if you remember, I've said this weeks and weeks ago, because of all of our problems with our offensive line being not that good yet, still trying to gel with all the injuries we've had to our line, that they have to take the tight ends and they have to use them as extra blockers. And they heard me because the last 2 weeks they've been doing that. So when you're yelling at the TV, why aren't they throwing to the tight ends more? It's because they're using them as blockers a lot. So, and it's been working because our run game's been great and it's been giving Fields enough time to get the ball down the field. They did not throw, obviously, they only threw for 109 yards, but I think that was purposely because the Raiders have a very good defensive line and they're 3rd in the league in rushing quarterbacks, and it showed. It showed last night. You could see how many times they were getting after him. They sacked him a couple times. One I know for sure. That I couldn't find the stats on, so I apologize for that. But the Bears knew that. They knew that Justin, if he was going to throw, he'd have to get rid of that ball right away because those Raiders offensively, very, very good. And we pretty much shut them down, and our run game was so important. I mean, huge. And I love it. So I was really, really happy. And when you're at the game, I recorded the game, of course, and then I watched it last night here, and, highlights. I kind of went fast-forwarded to it, but you could really see how well the runs were doing. I mean, when you're in the stands, you see it, and they have huge screen TVs in there, too. So on both sides, right and left of us, it was awesome. But we had a pretty good seats, so we were up. And we weren't super high. We were only in the 2nd level, and we were close. We were like, we weren't in the end zone, above the end zone, but we were to the right of it, over on the Bears side. We were on the Bears side of the field, so that was happy too. So, but it was, I'm telling you what, that run game, I just hope it keeps going, because that's going to help Justin it's going to open up the passing for sure. The Bears defense had 3 sacks again this week, so that moves them up to 18, and they're still leading the league. Woo! Right on! Number 38, our safety, Gibson Sr., had one. 99, our defensive lineman, our second year lineman, Gibson, no relation, had one. And none older than number 52, Mac, had one. And you know, Mac getting that sack was probably, ooh, he was chopping at the bit because you remember we got him from Oakland, 4 years ago? So, and then number 36, our backfield, one of our backfield players, Houston Carson, that's his last name, had the interception that Carr threw, and that was sweet. It was right by where we were sitting. We're like, yeah, man! Oh my God, we were just going crazy in the stands, the fans. Justin did get hurt in the second quarter where he went out when he got sacked, and he kind of hyperextended his leg, and but he was only out for two plays, and he was back in there. And Nagy, after the game, said, "That son of a buck is tough," quote unquote. And Fields wants to be a leader, he said, and he showed it by his play and by getting out there. And he is really one tough guy. And you know what? I'm liking this kid more and more each day. And something you don't see on TV, when right before the game, before the teams get announced, several of the Bears players came, and they actually came to our end zone, and they sat down. There's about 5 or 6 of them, and they kneeled and they prayed by themselves. And Justin was one of them. And I'm not that big into religion or nothing like that. I'm not here to preach that by any means, but it was kind of cool because you're seeing a different side of a player. Do you know what I mean? And Justin was just by himself, saying whatever he's saying. It was really cool. It really kind of pissed me off though, because there was a probably a reporter or photographer down there, and the guy was like right in their face taking pictures. I thought, get away from them, you douche. Can you give them a few minutes to have some personal time? Really? How uncalled for. But Justin really is turning out to be a real leader, and our offense is coming through. They really are. And again, the rushing game is huge. I'm so proud of them, and you could just see how hard they were playing yesterday, especially in person. Oh my God. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And the defense is doing their job. As I've said for the last couple of weeks, because of our backfield is so bad, which was a big concern for us going into yesterday's game because Derek Carr, as I told you, had 1,399 yards and passing already. So, and he was whipping it around again yesterday, but we stopped him. And so it was a big concern. And I was real worried about our defense because, like I said, our backfield is a shit show. So our linebackers, the guys in the middle, and then our defensive line, the guys in front, have to really make up for that bad backfield. And they did again. I mean, 3 sacks, an interception. They were rushing Carr all day. They were getting in his face. I know he got hurt that one time where he got smacked in the head. He went down. He went out for a couple plays, and then he came back in. But they were after him. And that's the thing. The more you can get in a quarterback's head and make them uncomfortable, the better you're going to win. So the Raiders didn't really have a lot of they had him. They had more throwing yards than we did, but it didn't matter. At the end of the day, we won. But it was, okay, so that's pretty much the game. It was an awesome, awesome game. And it was really cool because Nagy came out, and so did the players after the game, and they thanked the fans. They said, "Oh my God, you guys were so loud, and it was so nice having you there, yelling for us." It was like we felt so pumped. And Nagy said, and some of the players said, we stayed in that game because of all the enthusiasm coming from the sidelines. And he said when we ran off the field at the end of the game, it was unbelievable having all these people see us as we're going through our tunnel. I was on the other side of the field. We were already gone. It's when there was 30 seconds left and we got the last field goal. Me and my son were like, we're out of here. And but it's kind of cool because I was at a game 3 years ago in Arizona when the Bears were there, and there I swear there was more Bears fans than Arizona fans. And again, Nagy was like, "If it wasn't for you fans, now there was definitely more Raiders fans." There than Bears fans, but and they were loud. That place, one person told me as I was talking to somebody before the game started, and the guy goes, we were talking about how beautiful the stadium was, and he's like, "It is, isn't it?" And he goes, "And it gets loud." I'm like, "Okay," and he was not lying. Oh my god! And what's funny is I'm kind of hard of hearing, and so that really loud noises like that do actually bother my ears. But oh my God, me and my son were just laughing so loud. He's like, that guy wasn't kidding. It was rocking in that place. And then at several times, Bears fans got up and not too far from us and we're like, "Let's go Bears." So then we all got up and we're screaming it and screaming it. And but beautiful stadium. I mean, it didn't look like there was a bad seat in the house. Everything was so easy from the moment we parked offside. We didn't, because the parking, they still got to figure out the parking issue. There's a parking lot, but it's not very big, and I think that's for season ticket holders. Although we did have season tickets, but I don't think John, who gave us his tickets, got parking. But so we just parked down the street. It wasn't bad. We had to pay, but it was a easy walk. We get in, you got to show your vaccination and all that status. And in we went. We were there early so we could get acclimated, see what the place was like, find out, find our seats, find the bathroom, and find out where the beers are. Bathroom and beer is most important. So we got there, we got situated, and then we're like, let's eat before the game. And it wasn't that crowded yet. But boy, they have so many places to eat, so many vendors or whatever you want to call them everywhere around the whole stadium. I mean, and any kind of food you wanted, you could have gotten there. And so, I mean, we didn't wait long. Again, we were there early. We didn't wait long to get our food. I said, my son, I said, "Yeah, I want a beer." And he's like, "Okay." They hand me this beer. Oh my God. I could barely get my hand around it. It was so big. I think it was like a 24 or 30 ounce beer. I'm not kidding. I've never seen a beer so big in my life. I'm like, holy crap. I don't think I can get my hand around it. And I'm like, nah, I'll figure it out. And I did. But it was funny. And the people at the concession stands, I swear to God, the nicest concession stand people I've ever. I really, really, everyone there was so nice. And drinks and beer and stuff, plenty of places to get that separately from standing in line to get food. Plenty of it. That was not a problem. It was so cool going there because you get to see a brand new stadium. It was open last year, but there was no fans. So this was the first year, and the Bears won. I'm talking about bonus. And we were sitting around a lot of. We had a mix. We had Raider fans and we had Bears fans sitting there. And but the Raider fans were really nice. There was just one guy in front of us. Him and his wife were sitting there, and she loved my enthusiasm. He would give me everyone because I would yell, but I never yelled at him. I always yelled up in the air, "Go Bears!" And I yelled that probably about 50 times, easily. And then I'm doing, when something happens. Well, he didn't see this, but I'm like, first down every time, fourth down, and then things would happen. I'm jumping up and down because I'm like, said to my son, "Oh man, my hip hurts," when we got in the car. And I said, "It must be from that walk." He goes, "No, I'm pretty sure it was from you jumping up and down in your seat." Because I got so much fun out of that game. I got home. It took me a while to calm down, get off of that high, and then I was exhausted, and I am still exhausted. So I forgot to write the Bear Down song. But loud and fun. I mean, we were, high-fiving each other, and then this is kind of cool. So we're leaving the game. We get up to leave. We had fantastic seats. We were on seat 1 and 2, right on the aisle. You can't ask for better because they were only about, I don't know how many rows up, and the bathrooms were right there. So if I had to go, I'd be like, "All right, back." I didn't miss anything. I mean, I missed a play. But because they were so close, I've never gone to a baseball game or football game and not had to wait in line for the bathroom. I never waited. They have so many bathrooms there. It was very impressive. When you know my age, it's hard. You have a beer, man, you're going to be peeing, all right? Because, we're old. We can't keep that in. But it was just, I don't know. And so, anyways, we were leaving, and this guy comes up to me and says, "Do you mind if I take your picture?" And I was like, "I guess not." He goes, "You were so much fun to watch." He was sitting a couple rows up. He goes, "The enthusiasm and the energy that you demonstrated today, we just could not stop laughing at you. We were just having so much fun watching you and the game. It was really cool." I'm like, "Thank you. But then, so he goes to take my picture, and some douchebag, another Bears fan, gets in. I'm like, "Hey, he wanted my picture. Buzz off." Anyways, that was pretty cool. So, needless to say, I was extremely enthusiastic and had a lot of fun. And a lot of us were making fun of Nagy. They're all like, "Is Nagy down there?" Before the game started. I said, "Yeah, look at him. See the guy, the stupid bald guy with a visor on?" And everyone started laughing. They're like, "I know, can you believe he wears a visor?" So we were laughing about that. So it was pretty funny. So, but then there were some experiences at this game. This is when you know you're in Vegas, baby, okay? So, first off, this guy, he was a magician, and he must do an act in Vegas. And he was there for two reasons. One, to I can't talk. Raise awareness for cancer, because it's Cancer Month, breast cancer and cancer awareness month. So he was there because his 7-year-old son is in remission right now from cancer. So he was there for that. And then he was there to break Houdini's straitjacket of getting out of a straitjacket while hanging upside down over 50 feet in the air. So he did it. They put him in the straitjacket, and they were tightening it up, and then they put him upside down, and then he just went up and up and up and up and up. And he was over 100 feet in the air upside down. And he got out of it and broke the record, I guess. So we're like, "Oh, my God, look at this dude, It was pretty cool. And then the national anthem was played by a guitar player from the band Journey. So he played the national anthem. And then at halftime, this rapper who I don't know who he is, but because I'm a rock and roller, Ludacris, he played a short set at halftime. I said to my son, "Who is that?" Everybody was really getting into it. He goes, "It's," he told me, "Ludacris, he's a rapper, and he's very famous." And I'm like, "Only in Vegas? I mean, really?" So I am still on a high. It was the coolest thing, and not a bad experience, not a bad moment in yesterday. I mean, the game started a little after 1 here, and we got home. I don't know. After we got into the car, they said, "Oh, you got to go this back way." It was funny because when we were like, "Oh man, look at that traffic we're going to be sitting in," and I said, "Well," and then we were like, "Yeah, you're right. It's whatever. It was a great game. We don't care." So we get in our car, and then they go, "No, we want you to go this way," and we're like, "Oh, okay." So we go out another way. It turns out it's the road. You had to go. We went down 10 minutes down the road. It's the road that takes you right into my neighborhood. We couldn't believe it. Me and my son are like, "This is just weird." You just pulled out and boom, home we went. And that was the thing. We drove there, no traffic. There was traffic, but we parked, walked there. It was just easy peasy, and getting home was even better. So it was such a great experience, and I got a hats off to the Raiders organization for really building a great stadium. I bet it would be really cool at night, because when you're looking out those big windows, and then there's the eternal flame that they turn on right before the game starts. That's for the owner, Al Davis. And then they turn that on. And then, there's the strip right outside. And I bet it's a cool experience for night games, because you can see the strip all lit up. So very well done, Raiders, even though I'm not a Raiders fan, but I never will be. I don't care how long I live here. So proud of the Bears. I mean, shit, man, we won. On paper, it did not look like the Bears were going to win. And I said to my son, I honestly I thought we weren't going to win. I just wanted to be in the game. In the game we were. We won 20-9. And every aspect of the ball yesterday, defense, offense, special teams, very good. Very well done. Let's just hope he keeps it up because, guys, we've got Green Bay next, then Tampa Bay, then the 49ers, and then Pittsburgh, who is actually starting to play better, but I'm not totally worried about them. So the Raiders, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and 49ers were going to be the worst stretch we have. So we started it out on the right foot. Right on, Burby. And I just want to say thank you to my son and his father-in-law, John, for the tickets. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It was so cool being there. And what a great experience. It's something that my son and I will always be able to have and someday tell his children about it. We have the pictures, and if you're on my Facebook, you can see them. But, oh, shoot, I forgot the towel. I wanted to bring that and show you guys. So they put the towels on all the seats for the Raiders fans. We kept ours because the Bears are on there, the name and the date and everything. But that was funny. But, of course I'll keep that, because we sat next to one guy who just had bought his tickets like 2 minutes before the game started. He was outside, and he knew he could get them cheap, and he did. So he sat next to us. Super nice guy. He was a Raiders fan. And we had a really good time with him. It was a lot of fun, and he even bought me a beer. Michael bought him a beer. It was nice. So it was a good time. But those beers, man, they are big. I almost had to use 2 hands. Anyways, I love my Bears, and I love my watchers. Thank you. It was great. I would have liked to have gotten to go see Mr. McCaskey in Virginia, and we were looking in the skyboxes that were over by us, suites, and my phone wouldn't get large enough to see, but I know they were there because they say we were coming. I wish I had had binoculars. I would have found them, but I couldn't get in to meet them because, again, he said, when that guy called last week from the Bears organization to offer me tickets, he said, no, they can't take chances of getting somebody near Mrs. McCaskey because of her age. So, but I don't care. What a great day. Yeah, that would have been the cherry on top, but that's all right. Who cares, right? But I don't know. You can tell I'm still smiling. Although after I do this show, I'm probably going to go because I'm so tired. When you're 63 and you are jumping up and down and first down, what? I'm screaming, that wasn't a penalty, and all those things. It wears you out. It does. So I'm going to stop because I'm just going on and on. So, great game. I mean, really, if the Bears could do that every week, play all 3 facets with relatively few mistakes, had the 8 penalties, but that's all right. We won't go into that too much. We can win games. And you know what? The thing is, and Justin's not putting big numbers, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day because if you come away with a W, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Just let's keep this up. Nagy not calling the plays and Nagy just being the head coach seems to be the answer right now because you can see the change. So let's just hope that upper management has kiboshed him ever calling a play again as a Chicago Bear coach. Now, if they could just get him to wear a real hat instead of that stupid visor, people would stop making fun of him. I'm just saying. So thank you, fans. I love you. It was a great, great win. I'll talk to you Friday about the next game, which is at home, which is good, the Packers. And I really was hoping they would lose yesterday. We were watching the score, and then they were showing us highlights at halftime of scores of games, which was kind of cool. They showed us the red zone, so that was neat. I tell you, everything was just so cool there. So, anyways, as I always do, to my beautiful watchers, I want to say, thanks for watching, as always. You guys rock, man. And be kind. I saw a lot of kindness yesterday. I really did. I did not see, except for that guy in front of me. Every once in a while, he gave me a look like that, and I'm like, I did that a lot too. That's what the guy who took my picture. He goes, "Oh, your reactions were great." Yeah, if they did something stupid, I would put my hand up in the air and do the finger because I didn't want to yell obscenities. That's the one thing I really don't do when you're at games because kids are around. Although I saw no kids, so I would just do that. The sausage finger. So I don't care about that guy. It's like I have every right. When you go to a football game, you are required to scream and yell. In my opinion, you're there to help your team. Okay? So I saw a lot of kindness yesterday. People were really, I was a little worried about the Raiders fans because you hear these stories, but nah, they were all nice, real nice people from all around. We talk, a lot of people that lived in Vegas that are Bears fans, a lot of people that came in for the game. There was a lot of Bears fans there. There's no doubt about it. So it's pretty freaking awesome. And so the kindness I saw yesterday really melted my heart. And if we could just have that all over the United States regularly, it would be so much better. And we can do it. We can do it. Stop watching the news and believe in everything you see because it's not true, okay? And let's just say, you know what? Let's stick together and be kind to one another. Look at people for people. Don't see color, race, any of that stuff because we're just human beings trying to make it in this world. So for me, smile at somebody today, help somebody out this week. Anything you could do to pay it forward and make somebody's life a little easier, do it. All right? Do it for your announcer who is pickled and is a woman with her father's face. I mean, really. That's what I said last week on my show about, it was last week or 2 weeks ago where I said about I would be a perfect guy's date because, I don't want commitment. I drink beer. I love sports. I love music. But I know why. Because of the face. It's not fair, a father's face on a woman's body. Just saying. All right. Love you guys. Be happy. And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. And I'm going to see you Friday, right? I'm going to sleep all week. Bye-bye.